Hello class, and welcome to my presentation on predictive versus reactive maintenance in aviation for my aircraft inspection and scheduled maintenance programs course through Embry Riddle Aeronautical University. In this presentation, we're looking at predictive versus reactive maintenance in aviation and how they impact cost control. Maintenance plays a huge role in airline operations because it directly affects safety, aircraft availability, and operating costs. In fact, maintenance typically accounts for 10 to 15% of total airline expenses. So choosing the right strategy isn't just a technical issue, it's a major financial decision that helps reduce unplanned downtime like AOG or aircraft or ground events, which is where airlines lose the most time and money. While reactive maintenance looks cheap at first, it can hurt airlines later. When something fails unexpectedly, it can put an aircraft out of service and cause delays or cancellations, which are extremely expensive. There's also a greater chance that the failure damages other components. And since failures aren't planned, it makes it harder to manage spare parts, workforce scheduling, and hangar space efficiently. So overall, costs become less predictable and usually higher. While reactive maintenance looks cheap at first, it can hurt the airline later. When something fails unexpectedly, it can put an aircraft out of service and cause delays or cancellations, which are extremely expensive. There's also a greater chance that the failures damage other components. And since failures aren't planned, it makes it harder to manage spare parts, workforce scheduling, and hangar space efficiently. So overall, costs become less predictable and usually higher. Predictive maintenance takes a proactive approach by using sensors and aircraft health data to monitor component wear over time. Systems can detect small changes in equipment performance and estimate the remaining useful life of these components, which means we can schedule maintenance before the failure actually happens. This strategy is especially important for systems where failure would be extremely costly or unsafe, like engines or landing gear. Many new aircraft are already built to support this kind of monitoring. Predictive maintenance helps airlines avoid these surprise breakdowns, which means better on-time performance and fewer aircraft on ground events. By replacing components only when the data shows they're wearing out, airlines can extend part life and reduce unnecessary costs. It also improves planning. Maintenance can be scheduled during slower times instead of in the middle of an operation. And finally, it increases confidence in aircraft safety since issues can be identified much earlier. Even though predictive maintenance has a lot of benefits, it isn't easy to implement. Installing sensors and software across a fleet is very expensive, especially for older aircraft that weren't designed for digital systems. Technicians and engineers also need training to analyze data and make the right decisions. It's also important to note that not every failure is predictable. Some still happen suddenly, which means airlines can't rely on predictive tools in itself. Most airlines today use a hybrid strategy. They apply predictive maintenance where failures would have major impacts, like on engines, but still use reactive maintenance where the risk is low, like on cabin hardware. This gives them the cost savings of predictive maintenance without overspending on systems that don't benefit from monitoring. The hybrid model also aligns with the FAA guidance that requires safety-critical systems to be managed proactively instead of reactively. Predictive maintenance makes it easier to manage costs over the long term. Since parts are replaced based on condition, airlines avoid waste and reduce the need for emergency repairs. By preventing cancellations and delays, airlines protect their revenue and avoid paying for things like passenger compensation and spare or replacement aircraft. Overall, predictive maintenance supports more stable budgets and better efficiency across maintenance operations. So wrapping up, reactive maintenance can be cheaper up front, but failures usually end up costing airlines more later. Predictive maintenance requires an investment in technology and training, but it improves reliability and reduces long-term expenses. That's why most airlines are moving toward a hybrid approach, choosing the most cost-effective strategy based on the importance of the aircraft component. As aircraft technology continues to advance, predictive methods are expected to become even more important in the future. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening and have a great day.